naive and ignorant in thinking that because you live in America, this wouldn't happen. At the end of the day, when this violence kicks off, human beings turn into chimpanzees. It's the reality of it, okay? So do not be fooled into thinking that you are safe from this, all right? This isn't to scare you. This is to prepare you, all right? Right, so once that event's exploded in a singular location, right, you're going to see what? Riots and protests break out, especially in urban areas all over the country, right? And you might see this tinderbox event, boom, starts to flare up, and the whole country is enveloped, all right? That's one scenario, okay? The other scenario that I foresee is terrorist attacks. And by that, I mean set up terrorist attacks, right? So I think a very likely scenario of something happening is something like a black church in the South is going to be hit with a truck bomb. Hundreds or thousands of people are going to be killed. They'll blame it on a far-right extremist Trump supporter. The left will come out in massive protests. The right's going to be pissed off. Come out, counter-protest, protest hits. Boom, that can set the ignite off, right? That's how it's going to look, I think. And it's the most likely way it's going to look. These things happen with sort of an atomic bomb. A singular atom splits and it explodes from there. All right, so let's be very clear. The last thing any of you want is civil war. I hear people talking about this all the time. Oh, civil war and this and that. And guys, war is ugly. I've done it myself. None of you want it. None of you are ready for it. At the end of the day, it's not cool. It's not going to be like the movies in Hollywood, okay? And to the right, who I always hear say, oh, you know, one side has all the guns and the other side can't figure out which bathroom to use. Okay, true. However, that's not how civil wars work, right? When a real civil war or collapse happens in America, it is not going to just be right versus left. Why? Because after probably about the first 72 hours, okay, all the foreign nations, sleeper cells, which are here, okay, China, Russia, Iran, all of them are going to get activated, and those foreign countries are going to come and be involved as well, okay? And which side, I know the right's super confident, which side do you think China is going to jump in on? Which side do you think Russia is going to jump in on? They're going to jump in on the side of the socialists and the communists, right? Why? Because they know they'll be able to collapse the country, and the best thing that could happen in the world for these countries is for America to completely collapse, okay? So do not think, as a right-wing conservative, you are going to have the advantage in an actual civil war. It is not going to just be like the first Civil War, okay? Understand that. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be complicated. It's going to be chaos. If it gets to that point, it's bad news, guys. You do not want to, none of us want to live through.
And there you go. I want to say shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in this gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a quick lesson through the spirit. You heard Esau going into the acts of civil war, how it's going to be more than just right wing against left wing, which they're part of the same party. Right wing, left wing, part of the same bird. And a lot of times people don't realize that is because they're too distracted with the political ideologies that's put before them, and they're not really focusing on the schematics that's being played behind the curtain. Okay, it's like the wizard behind the curtain found out that he was completely powerless in some aspects of it. You know, and he was a facade. And that's just how it is with this system. Okay, with your right wing, left wing, your extremism. It's all Esau at the end of the day, and it's all the elites. You know, he made some interesting points because he mentioned about sleeper cells. Sleeper cells. And going back into 2023, ever since Title 42 expired, they got over 50 million migrants here. Migrants or nationals or whatever you want to call them, which they disguise them as migrants. But you have a lot of Iranian nationals. You have Russian now. You have Ukrainians now. I mean, they have, look, the foreign military is already here. They're just waiting to be deployed in the time of all hell breaking loose. So not only would that be a war between the right wing and the left wing, Democrats, Republicans, patriots versus liberals, you know, Jake versus Esau, Jake versus Jake. You know, this shit is gonna be like battle royal, like back in the day when they had WWE WrestleMania, when they had those big battle royals. I mean, everybody and their mother, part of the World Wrestling Federation, they would come out and they would engage in this big climatic battle to who's survival of the fittest. And that's what it's going to be out here in America, man, all right? So, you know, us in the know, our faith is getting ready to be tested on levels beyond measure, all right? But ultimately, the Lord got us, man, because the brother, I can't remember what camp he's out of, but I've seen him several times, the brother, good brother, and the elder brother and a couple of brothers uploaded a video, a re-upload from the brother. He had a dream that somebody, or the Lord gave him a vision that somebody broke in his house. And right when he woke up, he said 10 minutes, he got a knock at the door of some wicked, grimy Jake, and find out that later on that day or that week, he got arrested for trying to break in somebody's house. So the Lord sent him the provision, okay? Pro means before, vision means to see, right? So the Lord allowed that brother to foresee what was going to happen to his place of residence, because that's how the Spirit works. You know, sometimes the Spirit give you little hints and tell you little things before it come to pass, man. But you have to be in the Spirit to recognize these things, or you're going to miss them, okay? And when you in a debating spirit, and I'm going to take my little shot at these niggas, man, because for the simple fact, it's ridiculous. Here, we getting ready to enter Civil War 2.0 on steroids, and you got a motherfucker that wants to come around and debate us on Ezekiel 38. Like, dude, get a life, man. Okay, you niggas out there, you Israelites out there, you scoffers, you scorners, Van Ashton, your bitch ass, because I know your punk ass watch, you fucking crybaby clown. He's a crybaby, man. Grieving images, this bitch ass nigga, and I'm going to call it just like it is. The Most High is going to kill you, man. And matter of fact, them curses we threw up on that bald head nigga and his son, may Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai revert them curses to you too, in your household. Mad at us as we threw up curses on a 2/3. You know why you mad, clown? Because you are a 2/3. Now, take that shit to the bank and go cry in the car. Goofy ass niggas out here, man. I'm tired of you niggas. The Most High is getting ready to start punching your tickets because you serve no purpose. Anyway, so he said the last thing any one of you want is a civil war, and he made a good comparison to the movies because, you know, Hollywood, man. You know, Hollywood is all climactic, and you know it's always a survivor, and you know this side wins. Nah, bro, it ain't gonna be no winners in this but Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's it. Everybody else is gonna get straight up put down. Bro, you have 350 million people here, and every bit of 200 some plus million people are gonna die. Okay, now I can't tell you the elect. I can't count the elect in America. I don't know. You know, the scriptures goes into 144,000, which is the hierarchy government. But that great multitude, even John said that he couldn't number. So we don't know how many elect is going to come out of America. But I understand there's going to be quite a bit. But comparison to the people that's going to die here, it's going to be a lot of dead bodies here in America, man. All right. And this Civil War is going to offer a lot of people. Because even during the midst of Civil War, you're going to have people getting rounded up and thrown in prisons or FEMA camps and all types of shit. And the ones that the Civil War doesn't destroy, those missiles, man. Because those of you that's in those internment camps, when the Messiah comes back and those missiles are shot, a lot of you going to be in them prisons when those missiles hit. And that's a horrible fate. You behind bars and you get ignited in it. Oh, that's horrible, man. Godly, you know, that's a fate. You don't really want to wish on nobody, but you know what, man? At the end of the day, it is what it is. Okay, you people have been warned. Okay, now I was looking at this guy by the name of Patrick Humphreys, and he was going into how Biden, he activated the PrEP Act. Okay, and I did a little research on it and found out that they actually had this activated during the time of the you know what. Okay, now he said that they reactivated it, but from reading this article, it made it seem like it was going to be activated just by default until the end of the year, unless they renewed it or refreshed, well, however they do it. You know, Esau, he likes to pull things out of a thin hat. But it says Public Readiness and Emergency Preparedness Act, which is abbreviator for the PrEP Act, okay? It says update the 11th Amendment to declare the declaration under the PrEP Act for the you-know-what medical countermeasures on May 9, 2023. Secretary Bakara signed the 11th Amendment to the declaration under the PrEP Act for the you-know-what medical countermeasures. When you think of countermeasures, you think of something that's in defense of something that may be opposition. So in this case, a civil war is to break out in America. The countermeasures would be to deploy martial law to the streets of America, in which they're going to use foreign military to do that. Okay, I speculate that you're going to have American military that's going to partake in certain of those events because, once again, Jake is going to be a big target in that day. And a lot of these U.S. troops and what do you call these guys, Navy SEALs or the Coast Guards and the, what do you call these people, man? The National Guard, a lot of them are part of these militias too. You know, and they have one thing in common. They hell-bent on destroying you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So the Lord is getting ready to put the sword to you Israelites, man. And it ain't going to be pretty. All right. So anyway, it reads, it says, the Secretary issued this amendment to clarify that what continues to pose a credible risk of a future public health emergency. Future, okay? Because look, you got another one that's on the horizon. Okay, they're talking about numbers are going up. It's all types of shit. They talking about terrorist attacks. It's a lot of stuff going on. Then you got pretty much America that want to go head up the war with Iran. And we know that if they go to war with Iran, Russia's going to get involved. And then on top of that, they're talking about an economic collapse. So all this can happen within fucking weeks and months, brothers. It ain't going to take no time for this to unfold. You know, here these people think that they got another year, another 2 years. That vision that woman had, I believe the brothers went into it maybe 2 weeks ago. She basically stated that the angel told her that there was going to be civil unrest by 2025. And the way that this selection is going with Kamala Harris and what's this guy's name, Donald Trump, hey, it can very well be the case, man. Okay, we can very well see a whole different America in a couple of months, man. So that's not out of the equation. But it says to new limitations on distribution extended of the time period covered for certain covered countermeasures or covered persons, clarified the time period of coverage covered persons authorized under the declaration, and extend the duration of declaration to December 31st, 2024. Okay. So here, the Public Readiness Act, PrEP Act, authorizes the Secretary of Department of Health and Human Services to issue PrEP Act declarations. It says the declaration provides immunity from liability except for willful misconduct for claims. So they got immunity. So, yeah, man, things are getting ready to take place. So this is the book of Ezekiel 7, and I'm going to start at verses, let's start at verses 2, and this is in the New Living Testament. So it reads, Son of man, this is what the sovereign Lord says to Israel. The end is here. Talking to you Israelites, you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners out there. Okay, this is talking about you. It says the end is here. Wherever you look, east, west, north, or south, your land is finished, right? Because in this day and age, look, the scriptures say the clouds are going to come from the east, the west, and also I think, what is it, the north or the south, if I'm not mistaken. Second Esdras 15 on down, 29, when it goes into the war of the Carmanians, which is basically World War III. Okay, these chariots are going to come from different sides or different, they're going to come from different directions, and they're going to surround Babylon the Great. And then you're going to have the fathership, which is Yahushua, that's going to deliver the elect, man. Okay, it says, no hope remains, for I will release my anger against you, and I will call to you, and I will call you to account for all your detestable sins. Because when you look at our people, Jake is in all types of idolatry, and idolatry is the biggest one. Okay, Jake make idols out of every goddamn thing. Every goddamn thing. Jake would take a goddamn briefcase and make a model out of it. Or Jake would take a goddamn cell phone and make a god out of it, man. Oh, this is my God. Jake did that shit. Jake worshipped the golden calf. Jake worshipped the cross. All types of idols. Jake worshipped themselves. Jake worships vehicles. Fucking Jake worships house shoes, man. Jake worships the woman. Anything you worship outside of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is considered idolatry. Okay, your one and only idol should be Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Okay, and that's a righteous one. Okay, because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is the God of the living. That's why he says that. Why would you give life to graven images and to dumb idols that neither talk, see, nor hear? Okay, your goddamn cell phone, it can talk because you make it talk. Other than that, your television ain't, I mean, your end table or your vehicle, and all that shit is dead unless you operate it. You know? Niggas worshiping boxing gloves and shit. Like, your boxing glove can't be no effect unless you the one that put the goddamn glove on. I worship this. That's me, okay. Gonna see how far that's gonna get you. Reading on. It says, I will call to your account for all your detestable sins, and I will turn my eyes away and show no pity. Yeah. So when this help comes, the Most High is not going to show pity on our women. He's not going to show pity or mercy on the children. He's not going to show mercy or favor on the old nor young. That's Ezekiel 9:4. The Lord doesn't discriminate. Unlike these movies, kids are what they call they have plot armor in movies. In this movie, anybody can get it. Your mama can get it, your daddy can get it, your baby brother can get it. Hell, your child can get it. And your woman gon' get it. So, hey, once again, all you Israelite women out there that know what's up, you better stop playing. All you Israelite women that's in that feminist spirit, because I got a comment, I think maybe 3-4 days ago, of a sister that commented on a lesson that I did with the adulterous Jake and the Edomite nurse, and it seems like she was taking the side of the woman. I'm like, wait a minute. So it's like, both of these niggas are guilty. It takes two to commit adultery. So what do you mean? You're talking about he's going to destroy her life? That's funny hearing an Israelite woman taking up for an Edomite woman. So it makes me question who was that or what that really was about. And the brother hopped on there and to cut her. Because a lot of these women that call themselves Israelites, brothers, they ain't right, man. A lot of these women ain't. Why you think half these women that be on our comment boards, why you think they ain't really married? Brothers ever question that theory? Like, why have the sisters that follow us, why they ain't getting up with brothers? Why they ain't with brothers? Ever thought about that? Because a lot of them are groupies. A lot of them ain't right. Some of them could be agents. A lot of them camp hop. And then a lot of them have husbands too. You know? And a lot of them, they think they're trying to hold out for particular brothers. Because what I realize about Eve is Eve, she's always with the movie of the week bullshit. She wants everybody wants Brad Pitt. So if you a Brad Pitt Israelite with status and you got a lot of subscribers and everybody talks about you in the videos all the time, then those are the Israelite brothers that Eve wanted to get with. Because she's not trying to get with the brother that got maybe 25 views, 100 subscribers. She ain't trying to get with him because in her mindset, he's insignificant because he's not being mentioned in the light of Israel, which that's some bullshit, man. Every brother in this thing that's sincere in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is just as important. Now, there are levels to this thing. Okay, the Lord does have his favorites. But regardless, if you're the elect, you're the elect. If you made it, then you were the Lord's chosen, then he favors you. Okay? He shouldn't get a preference over somebody else because they big up. Okay? And, you know, we commend men that do good works, period. I mean, the Lord, he exalts us, but you women got to get in order because you bring a lot of confusion to Israel. And, hey, we're warning you now. Get in order. Stop playing games with the Most High. It says, I will turn my eyes away and show no pity, and I will repay you for all your detestable sins. Then you will know that I am the Lord, okay? So when the Most High starts to really put the death angel through America and put the sword here, a lot of you ninjas are going to fall by the sword, man. Okay, like I was talking to one of the ladies in our department today, and she's kind of like over, I ain't going to say the finance, but she's over like the records and stuff like that, and the events, and you know, like she sends out like you know, the pay stub, you got to sign off on your hours throughout the week. You know, she's basically a secretary to the supervisor. And basically what happens is, she was telling me, she said, yeah, she got a Kia, and she said it's like the 5th time the motherfuckers done broken my car at work. You know what I'm saying? 5th time, and she said she had to pay a $500 deductible every time just to get our car fixed because some little grimy ninjas decide to break in a fucking vehicle at work. And I'm like, well, you know what you got to do when you catch one of them. She said, well, yeah, I'm with that. But she said one time, one dude shot one up, put his ass down, and then they locked up the dude who shot the little nigga up. But the nigga that steal the cars, he's endangering everybody on the road. He would literally take your fucking car, wrap it around a goddamn pole, and get out and run. And he would get caught, and he would be out in the next hour. Versus when you put the pause of judgment on this nigga, you looking at attempted murder. All for beating the shit out of these little grimy ass niggas, man. It's gonna come to a time that ain't gonna be nobody to save these motherfuckers, man. Okay, you young niggas, and that's the spirit. The Most High has been getting on these fucking ungrateful kids it started last week with the elder Yahshua about some little grimy ass niggas come up to the camp being disrespectful, defying the prophets. Then Saturday, some grimy ass Hamite bull-nosed ninja little nigga came up with his fucking bald head father and was basically trying to you know, buck up against us like he was gonna do something, man. You know. And then yesterday I was watching Elder Malcolm in them video, and the Jake husband went off on the family because he like, man, when I get home, I work 15 hours a day. I want to eat first. The fucking man eats first, man. Okay, your kids don't come before the man eats first. So he was like, why can't I have my fucking plate? And then he was like, you know what? If I can't eat, ain't nobody in this motherfucker eat. He took the little nigga shit and he dumped that shit outside. He said, ain't nobody eat. If I ain't eating my shit first, if I ain't got my plate out to work and a long day at work, he said, fuck your kid. And the crazy part about it is, he moved the bitch and I bashed the son in. Little ungrateful ass niggas, man. The most I gonna start smoking these kids out, these little grimy ass little niggas. Little nigga come up, yeah, 1 Peter 2:15. Shut the fuck up, man. And I was about that close to telling him I was about that close to cursing his ass out in front of his father, man. I was getting to the point. I was like, you know what? This little dude, he really needs some discipline. And his father ain't gonna correct him, man. Because Jake ain't right. And this is why, hey, we're reading this. It says here, it says, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Disaster after disaster is coming your way, meaning mischief upon mischief. Okay, you Jakes ain't finna get away from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Your time is coming to an end. All you little 2/3 grimy ass ninjas out there, you wicked ass hoes, want to call yourselves boss bitch, man. I go on Facebook and I'm looking at all this shit, man. Like half the people on my Facebook, I don't even talk to 99.5% of these people. I don't talk to any of them, man, because I'm not really active on that shit. But sometimes when I go through my timeline, and it ain't nothing but a bunch of degeneracy, man. Old hoes in their 30s trying to be relevant. Young niggas, it's just like, what the hell is this all about? Here the world is coming to an end, but none of these monkeys can even tell you or tit for tat what the prophecies is. They can't even tell you. You know, niggas talking about, we gonna vote for Kamala. Okay, well, go ahead, vote for her. Shit, vote for her. Cast 3 ballots for the bitch. I don't care. But at the end of the day, the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is gonna stand supreme. And it says here, the end is come. It has finally arrived, and your final doom is waiting. Okay. It says here, O people of Israel, the day of your destruction is dawning. The time has come. The day of trouble is near. Shouts of anguish will be heard on the mountains, and no shouts of joy. Yeah, none of that clubbing and turning up spirit. Like, you brothers ever been? You ever seen a mist of black women and they all loud and they get cackling and shit? Like when they celebrate and turning up, or if they see something that's like endearing of a surprise, they, hey, you know, all that cackling noise. That's the most irritating shit in the world. Like a clip came across my timeline. Some simple bald head nigga give his bitch a pink Bentley for her birthday, and you hear all these cackling baboons. And they totally overlooked the man, like he's not the prize, and they looking at her and bigging her up because she's finna drive off in a pink Bentley. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time he ran up and hugged her, she hugged him, but she looking at the car like just in dismay. Like, no, bitch, focus on me. I bought the motherfucker, man. I should be getting the praise for it. I'm putting you in it. You know, but they totally just disannulled him because he's a simp any goddamn way. But they totally disannulled this dude because the back of their mind, oh, he's supposed to do this anyway. You a queen. You a boss bitch. You supposed to do this for her. She's deserving. When a hoe probably had over 500 men in her fucking life, man. See, all the bullshit confusion is going to stop. It's got to stop, man. It's just enough is enough. Okay? Just the opinions enough is enough. If your opinion ain't coming from the truth, then we don't want to hear it. It says, soon I will pour out my fury upon you and unleash my anger against you, and I will call you to account for all your detestable sins. And I will turn my eyes away and show no pity, and I will repay you for all your detestable sins. Then you will know that it is I, the Lord, who is striking a blow. But it says the day of judgment awaits. It's here, and your destruction awaits. And the people's wickedness and pride have blossomed to full power. Yeah, all this momoality shit. You know, like this like the guy was saying in the video, he was mentioning that like the left don't know what bathroom to use, and then you got the right with all the guns. You people are in trouble, man. I mean, bodies are gonna be laid out in the streets out here. It's gonna get scary. All right, so let's see what this guy Patrick Humphrey is talking about, and I'll kind of wrap it up. I'll get on. I'll put some pep in the step. You know, I don't want to harp on this all day because I know I tend to be sometimes over thorough, and I have to work on that.
Get QuickBooks Solopreneur for $1 per month for mobile only. Sign up today.
This is big breaking emergency news. Biden just activated the PrEP Act. This is big for our country, and this is authorizing emergency use powers inside the United States. All right, they're getting ready potentially for something big, and they're saying that this is a major threat to the U.S. All right, we also have a travel alert being issued right now. Right, they are warning U.S. citizens that they need to leave certain areas and certain escalation zones right now. This is urgent. So let's get into the details here really quick, guys. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'm posting all the time, keeping you guys updated on this big urgent news. All right, so there are multiple big stories going on right now. Okay, we have the PrEP Act being activated. We have travel alerts being issued, and we have warnings from U.S. congressmen as well.
Now, you know what they said, travel alerts, right? Because last week when that global outage took place, a lot of flights were grounded. A lot of flights were delayed for I believe days, if I'm not mistaken. You know, that pretty much halted from some alleged update. Find out that that's an entity of the WHO. And remember that guy, that cotton swab head dude, he even mentioned it. He said, it's going to be cyber attacks and this and that, you know. That stupid ass accent. You elites are fucking horrible, man. All right, and the Lord got your ticket too. You're going to serve slavery, and you ain't going to your slavery is going to be worse than the time we in. I'll put it to you that way. We're going to put ultimately holy hell on you people, man. You elites have done enough to this world, and it's time for you to be pretty put in your place. All right, enough is enough. I'm ready to enjoy the earth and life and ready to breathe. I'm ready to do things, you know. I'm ready to live. Living under this abode, man, this rulership has done nothing but totally destroy Israelites, man, and we got to get the hell up out of here.
Oh, all right, on this PrEP Act that was just activated. This is the Public Readiness and Emergency Preparedness Act. This was just activated, and this is activating emergency powers for the federal government right now. Okay, so we've seen a lot of this activity happening recently. Okay, there's been a lot of things going on. It's a very volatile situation right now in the U.S., and we could see any number of situations pop off, and having this PrEP Act activated and these emergency powers activated is a major red flag and warning sign. And this is something that I've been warning of for a few months now, all right, that they are potentially getting ready for this, right? And now we are seeing the federal government activate these emergency powers and update their powers as well, giving them even new powers, all right? So
yeah, man, and I remember the Matt Dillon show, he was speaking to Skull and Bones Jones, and we know who that is. I don't like to really mention him too much because he's technically been blacklisted, but he was basically stating that if this guy Trump gets selected, then they have already provisions in place. If he declares an insurrection act, they can totally overpower that. So, I mean, hey, maybe they may be hitting at something, so we'll see. But it reads, it says, the day of judgment is here, and your destruction awaits. The people's wickedness and pride have blossomed full of power. Their violence has grown into the rod that will beat them for their wickedness. None of the proud and wicked people will survive. Yeah, because like I said, outside of this coming civil war, you're going to have pestilence, you're going to have famines. And in the midst of a civil war, globally or nationally, you ain't gonna have any trucks going in and out of these cities because they're gonna block things off. Okay, they may have trucks here and there, but it's got to be they have to get things under control before they can continue the supply chains and logistics, man. They have to get shit under order, and they're gonna do that by any means necessary. All right, so that can lead to famine, and famine leads to pestilence, which is diseases, you know. And then we already got earthquakes. We got all types of like shit today. Right now, we under heat advisory for the next 3 days, you know. But last night felt perfect. You see that? And then you got Texas getting hit by tornadoes and hurricanes, and Florida getting ready to be swept up. New York probably getting washed away, which I'm not going to say that because we know the apostles are out there. But there's a lot of judgments that's going to take place on the coast of America. Like through the Spirit, I remember the apostles were saying like, hey, you know, brothers might have to migrate because things are going to get bad. Like they was talking about if the New Madrid fault line erupts, places like St. Louis and those particular regions are going to be uninhabitable for quite some time. So brothers ain't going to be able to live out there. They're going to have to move, you know. And this is why the scriptures say, even when those evils come, be as pilgrims on the earth, you know. But anyway, it says all their wealth and prestige will be swept away. You know, all of the jobs, all the time you spend laboring, I'm in my bag. Only Keisha says that dumb shit. Okay, you don't hear Edomite men saying I'm in my bag. Esau, what the fuck is a bag? You Jakes try to be so relevant when you're irrelevant. But it says, yes, the time has come. The day is here, and buyers should not rejoice over bargains, nor sellers grieve over loss. Yeah, because it's just going to be like, okay, it is what it is. You're not going to be focused on the material things in play. Because for the simple fact, it's not gonna have any value to it anyway. You know, like when hell break loose, nigga, you ain't going to be thinking about, oh, my Hellcat. Nah, you ain't gonna be caring about no goddamn Hellcat. Okay, you gonna be caring about trying to survive and eat and feed your families and survive, man. You ain't gonna worry about no damn 9-to-5 job. Oh shit, I'm late on my taxes. The IRS to send me a bill in the mail. I gotta go pay it before they try to levy my bank account. Ain't nobody gonna be thinking about that shit, man, because them IRS crooks, they gonna be getting they fucking shit split open too. Because hey, believe it or not, look, the Lord have a judgment. Look, when the Lord said it is going to come upon thee in thy perfection, thou shalt not know whence it come. The Most High has a size up. He has an opponent for every form of wickedness. It's already been covered, just like a chessboard. You got pawns on that side, pawns on that side. You got bishops here, bishops there, rooks here, rooks here. You got a queen there, queen here. This is going to be the ultimate. It's the ultimate size up, man. You see? But it says here, for all of them will fell under my terrible anger. Even if the merchants survive, they would never return to their business. For what Yahweh said applies to everyone, and it would not be changed. So we all going to be affected in this thing. But we're going to survive, Lord's will, because we the elect. It says, not one person whose life is twisted by sin will ever recover. Because these people, they live their life of idolatry and sin and worshiping themselves. And they don't put Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai first. And this is why we behoove you, brothers. And I'm speaking to myself. Put the Lord first, man. Put the Lord first. Do what you got to do. Pray, man. Fast, whatever you got to do. Take this thing serious, man. Get involved. Okay? Stop being distracted by minute things that don't really equate to anything, all right? Like, right now ain't the time to be hurt over women. We going to get women in some. Don't even worry about that. We got to get our... We just got to focus on the right thing. Okay? The women going to come, man. And that... you know, when I ask brothers about the kingdom of heaven, the first thing they say, oh, women, like that's the least of your concern. Women is just gonna be the extra icing on the cake. It's not gonna, you ain't gonna have a high up for women in the kingdom because they're gonna be in abundance. The reason why you feel this way about women now is because you don't have options for real. Most brothers or jakes out here don't really have the ability to go out and get as many women as they truly desire, so they're deprived. So it's just like jewels in a haystack, man. It's like, all right, that's a rare case, but it's really not. You know, so in the kingdom, that's going to be the last thing. We're going to be concerned with ruling and creating realities and shit, man. Ain't going to be thinking about no damn women. You know, Jake just be too damn horny. Okay. But there will be women in this time that's going to come, and they're going to, you know, these women going to have to come before us, and they're going to have to humble themselves. How it's going to play out, I have no idea. I don't know how Isaiah 4:1 going to play out. I don't know the details of it. I just know what the scriptures say. But if your whole reasoning or your whole motivation to be a man of the Lord is to partake in Isaiah 4:1, then I'm going to tell you straightforward, you're in the wrong spirit. Because, hey, the scriptures say much given is much required. So if you got all these butterheads around you, you're going to have to take care of it. You're going to make sure they cool. I mean, the scriptures say they're going to provide their own raiment and things like that. So clearly they're going to have establishments. But overall, you're going to have to make sure they protect it. Okay, fed. You're going to have to make sure that they're good. You got to make sure they ain't going to be... They ain't gonna be throwing your shit down. You gotta make sure there ain't no spies among you. Because the main demon you deal with, she's gonna be the biggest headache. So we don't know. We'll see. But it says, the trumpet calls Israel's armies to mobilize, but no one listens to my fury is against them all. But there's war outside the city and disease and famine within. Yeah, martial law. Then you're gonna have pestilence. You got this whole bird FLU ordeal. Okay, which I believe they're supposed to be having some type of meeting on that coming this October. But it says here, and those outside the city walls will be killed by enemy swords, and those inside the city will die of famine and diseases, and the survivors who escape to the mountains will moan like doves and weeping for their sins, and their hands will hang limp, and their knees will be weak as water, and they will dress themselves in burlap, and horror and shame shall cover them, because they wickedness. It says they will shave their heads in sorrow and remorse. And they would throw their money in the streets, tossing it out like worthless trash, right? Because the money ain't going to be worth anything. Okay, we're going to have a total breakdown of society, which I like to call a control collapse, but it's going to get uncontrolled because people are going to lose it. Okay, but people can't go to the bank and get their little FRNs out, and they can't go get their little double cheeseburgers and their McFlurries, and people going to go nuts, man. Okay, they can't get their liquors. These people gonna really lose it. But it says here, the silver and gold ones saved them on the day of the Lord's anger, and it would neither satisfy nor feed them, for their greed can only trip them up. And they were proud of their beautiful jewelry and used it to make detestable idols and vile images. Therefore, I will make their wealth disgusting to them, and I will give it as a plunder to foreigners and to the most wicked of nations, and they will defile it. Yeah, because now you got these migrants coming here. Now, and you can tell, bro, because, sometimes I'll go, to Burlington's across the street, or I'll go, to the Walmart, or I just go to, the surrounding areas, and these people, you can tell they're not from here, okay? Though they got their attire, but I'll be seeing, some Venezuelan women, and they don't even speak English, you know what I'm saying? But I'm they dress in our type of clothing, and you'll see them with the Kansas City Chiefs hat on, they have leggings on, but I'm they shopping at these stores because they have these vouchers to do so. But they're strange. You see a lot of Africans here. You see a lot of Venezuelans. But technically, they're not from here. I think it's a family from Venezuela that live, on the other side of the building from me. They on the other side of a building, and, they sit outside. Sometimes when they speak, they say, what's up? But you can tell they're not from here, But yet they got the attire. They have the cheap hoodie on because Esau gives them vouchers, man. And they're taking over your fucking hoods, Maybe some decent looking Venezuelan women, but I'm I can't talk to these bitches. I can't even speak that language that well. The fuck, But they come over here and they got that proud ass attitude, But it reads here, it says, I will give it as plunder to the foreigners and to the most wicked of nations, and they would defile it. And I would turn my eyes from them as these robbers invade and defile my treasure land. Okay, which you heathens, you occupy our land now. Prepare chains for my people. For the land is bloody by terrible crimes, and Jerusalem is filled with violence, and Jerusalem today is our people, because we're not in the physical land of Jerusalem, not as a unit. It says, and I will bring the most ruthless of nations to occupy their homes. Yeah. Hey, you heard what the guy said. You got Russia, you got Chinese nationals, you got Iranian nationals, and they're going to all side with the socialist regimes. It says, I will break down the proud fortress and defile their sanctuaries, and terror and trembling will come over my people. And they will look for peace but not find it. They're going to pray to Jesus Christ. They're going to pray to Jehovah. You're going to have some that's even going to call on Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, and the Lord ain't going to help. It says calamity will follow calamity and rumor will follow rumor. And they will look in vain for a vision from the prophets. Yeah, and we ain't going to be out there. Okay, we ain't going to be out there in the time speaking on the streets, prophesying out there when all hell break loose, because we're going to get the memo. Hey, the camps don't go out. But like the elder brother said, he said, yeah, you crash outs. You're going to be out there in the midst of tanks and MRAPs down the street, and you're going to get your fucking body disintegrated. out there on a fucking loudspeaker with a mic cursing out martial law. What the hell wrong with you, nigga? That's crazy, man. But we gonna get the memo. Hey, all camps are to not report out anymore. That's when that famine of the word gonna hit. You know? So we gonna be cool, and this is why you stay in tune. And it says here, they will receive no teachings from the priests and no counsel from their leaders. Okay? So, hey, shit finna go down, man. But I'm gonna end it here. I ended up reading the whole chapter. I had other scriptures on deck, but this pretty much summed everything up that I would have read anyway in elsewhere in 2nd Esdras. So this put the icing on the cake. So with that, I'm gonna end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you edify to the next lesson. Shalom.